I want to be completely open and honest with you guys. I just got some great news. Hello. For those that don't know me, my name is Jaden, and I am currently applying to medical school. Welcome to Healers with You. Okay, it's been a minute. I said I was going to be documenting my whole process of applying to med school, and honestly, things got busy. I should have made more updates as I went along, but there was just so much changing so quickly, and I feel like my own view of how my medical journey was going didn't match what my expectations were, and so I didn't feel right showing it to you guys. But I know I want to be as open as possible, just because this is a really hard process, and if I only show the best of it, then it's not giving you guys a realistic view of what this process even is. I want to be completely open and honest with you guys. My original goal was to apply to 20 some odd schools and apply early because the application cycle opened at the end of May. So I was hoping to apply the first couple of weeks of May. That didn't happen just because applying to 20 schools, both AMCAS and TIMDOS. Also trying to take the MCAT again at the same time. The first time I got it, I got a 506. Thought was okay, this is a score that could possibly get me into medical school, but one, it wasn't a sure thing. I'm a very ambitious person. I had set a goal of 515 for myself. Trying to take the MCAT again this cycle while trying to apply to medical school, that all was not working out. I was trying to study for the MCAT while working not only as a medical scribe, but also tutoring at the same time. And that just, on top of studying, on top of applying, trying to finish my primaries, that was all just way too much. I feel like another thing that maybe delayed me finishing my primaries was just the whole adjustment from graduating. Literally that, around that time that I was also starting to apply to med school. It was just a lot going on at the same time, trying to figure out my new position in life. Okay, I just started a new job, there's just a lot going on. I wish I could have done maybe better about it, but it is what it is. I'm here now, and hey, I've already finished my secondaries for a number of schools, need to finish up a couple more. I just got some great news yesterday. I already got my first interview request, which I am so excited about, but also I was so scared. I didn't even believe it was real. I felt it was oh my gosh, is this real? I was looking, and yeah, it's real. So I will have my first interview today, Saturday, and I'll have my first interview on Monday. I am super excited because it's wow, this is the first step of me eventually starting medical school. It's been something that I've been wanting for so long. I've always said, yeah, I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to be a doctor. And this whole process also felt so, I guess there's so much emotions for me in general, just because this is something I've been there for so long, and I feel so close but so far, okay, by this time next year, hopefully I'll be in medical school. Not hopefully. I will be in medical school by this time next year, God willing. Step by step, I'm almost there. This next step, this is the next step, this is the next step. But I also feel so far away. I still got so much stuff I need to do before I get there. Also, part of my gap year, my application cycle is, hey, I've been working as a medical scribe, which has been a super cool experience. I'm working for an orthopedic surgeon, and because of his position in the hospital, he also ends up teaching a lot of residents and fourth year medical students and first year medical students. So I get to talk to a lot of different people in different places along the path of becoming a doctor, which has been so cool. I've been got different perspectives from different schools, from different people from different schools. I've learned so much just because this is also a very teaching environment that my doctor also likes for me to ask him questions all the time. I get to come into work, and I feel like every day I'm learning a little bit more about the human body, or just about what it means to be a doctor, which I think is super cool. So I work for two different doctors, and getting their different ways of the treating patients is very different. Like one of the doctors, he's very personable, very like just very caring with the patient, but he spends too much time in the patient's rooms. So he doesn't actually get to see too many patients. Like his patient, how many patients he sees a day is very little. But the other doctor, still a great doctor, but he's a lot more concise in the way that he speaks to the patients, and he can move from one patient's room to the next very quickly while still making sure the patient feels cared for. And just their demeanors are different. You know, one doctor might be a little bit more dry, and one's like super optimistic, super happy. And it's just an interesting way for me to reflect and like, oh, what kind of doctor I want to be? Like, how do I want to present to my patients? How do I want to make them feel comfortable and all of that? And this has been a really cool experience for that. I would say another thing about my job working as a scribe is I really learned that medicine as a whole is a business. Like at the end of the day, it is about making money. And I mean, that rubs me the wrong way, obviously, because I'm not thinking about, okay, yes, I need this patient to have this procedure done so I can get paid. Obviously, that's not the way you're supposed to be thinking about it, right? That's not how it really works. But I was saying, like at the end of the day, medicine's a business, and a lot of aspects of my job are rules, not necessarily for patient safety, but also the patient can be billed correctly. And it's just like, oh, when I'm talking to my doctor, he's talking about, oh, well, if they had this surgery at this location, it'd be this many thousands of dollars, versus if it's at the hospital, it's this many thousands of dollars. Just like, oh, at the end of the day, the hospital is trying to make as much money as possible. And it's like, it is what it is, you know. So that rubs me wrong. But also, another super fun experience that I've had with like working so far is that I've also asked my doctors if I could shadow them in surgery, which has been super cool. Getting to scrub in with them, like it is an insane experience. I've shadowed doctors before, but I haven't done it in a few years at this point. It is such an interesting experience to see things that you know are inside your body, but you don't think about them, you don't see them, right? And then suddenly they're outside of someone else's body. It's like, oh gosh, like this is crazy. This is like, that's not supposed to happen, but it's super cool. I feel like one thing about like seeing all of this stuff is a lot of it, because I don't have all of the medical knowledge, I'm seeing really cool and interesting things without the full context of it from the medical perspective. And then that makes me even more excited to eventually get to med school, learn all of these things, so then to look back on it like, oh, so that's what I was seeing. Or to eventually get to the point where like, oh, I remember this, but I didn't know it like I know it now. And that's when I'll have like the real knowledge of like being a doctor. And that's super exciting to me. So yeah, I am excited because I'll be having my first interview. Moving along on this journey, I will still be finishing up my secondaries, and I will try to keep you guys as updated as I can. I don't want to ever go too long without updating you guys. This is going to be the first video of many of just me being alone, talking about my story. This is an exciting journey. I'm excited to take all of you along on this journey with me, and I will continue to take you guys along. Any questions you may have, please drop them down below. Any comments, any words of encouragement, just anything really. Thank you guys for listening, and I hope you have a good night. Peace.